Stick your lips out. Arr. Now everyone's going
Welcome to Kidmin Backstage, the place where we talk about kids ministry and take a peek behind the scenes. We try to share a little bit of what we've learned that works for us and some of our failures so you can avoid them. We release a new episode every Friday, and this is your Backstage Pass to see the magic or disaster that happens behind the scenes of our kids ministry. I'm your host, Gabe Baker, and today I am joined by Aneisha and Shaylee.
Hello, everyone.
Back by popular demand again.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone.
So, I think that I sent you guys a text the other day. We got a comment the other day from somebody in California that said they laughed the whole way through along with us. So.
Do you guys think we should do a live show? Yes or yes?
Do you think we should go on tour? Yes or yes? And do you think we should get paid for it? Yes or yes?
Yes or absolutely.
All right.
He won't take us out in
I'm
public.
glad someone thinks we're funny.
Well, so what are we talking about today?
I already forgot the title.
Today is Step Into Battle Backstage.
Backstage, behind the scenes of Step Into Battle.
We figured out this is the only thing we actually know anything about.
Wait, I don't have a script here.
Are
Are we sharing it?
We're sharing a script.
So this is our theme title is Step Into Battle for our Sunday school theme, which is gladiators right now. And so we talked a little bit, Brent and I talked about upcoming and stuff, but so we just kind of want to talk about today, kind of a little peek behind the scenes and some of the chaos that we had and some of the fun stuff. I don't know if people like it or not, but hopefully they do.
This segment,
style, this kind of
segment,
looking behind the scenes.
This is our real life.
So, but first, let's talk about practice.
Let's talk about practice. Aneisha can't though because
I was getting snacks.
She was getting snacks. So.
She was.
But in practice, so it was really funny because last week Luis was in practice, and he was, for those that haven't been listening to the podcast, our scripts are a little different now because we're adding dialogue and stuff. And so what's happening is everybody, well, I mean, even me sometimes, but everybody's getting caught up in the lines. And so I'm like, it's all about ad-lib. Now, today was pretty good about, with the ad-lib part, but I'm like, don't worry about the lines. They're just there for reference. It's not really...
not to memorize every single line and perform
not,
it.
Maybe someday, but we're not trying to do that. So anyway, he was like, we're on our phones and stuff in practice, reading off the lines and stuff.
Well, wait, start with Miles, because Miles walked in and he was just full force. Like he was a vendor, full force.
Oh yeah. Well, when we went live, you mean, or in practice?
No, in practice.
Oh, in practice. Oh,
he starts yelling.
Yeah.
Doing the bit.
Yeah. So that.
So he was going
all
invested,
in, which is, and it's hard to do that in practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier live because you're like in the moment
and you're awake.
But yeah, and practice though, I don't even think it's necessarily the awake thing. I think it's like it feels so sterile. The environment. It's like you feel awkward going all out. Mm-hmm. And so Luis sounded like a robot. This was last week. He's like reading his lines, and he's like, so here's Miles' lines. Roasted nuts, get your roasted nuts. Fresh bread, best bread in the province.
Yeah, well.
So today, Brother Keach did that.
Oh, no.
Which he's a great actor.
Yeah.
And so
Citizens, where's his citizens? Today's fight features a new gladiator.
Yeah.
Making his
This is in practice. He's doing it like this.
Morning, yeah.
Yeah. So I was making fun of him because, like, Luis is actually a great actor and he did great live, but in practice I was like, Luis, you sound like a robot. and then Brother Keach is one of our best actors. He's been around forever, and so he was doing that, and I was teasing him. I was like, you sound just like Luis did last week. But yeah, so that was the dynamic opening, and Miles. He did great. I could hear him backstage calling out. So basically the dynamic opening was the dynamic opening segment always is like when kids come in and they're sitting down, and we want some kind of action happening. Mm-hmm. And so this was like they're coming into it's the Coliseum that we built, but we're not quite quote unquote at the Coliseum,
yet.
It's like the Ludus Magnus or whatever, I think what did Brother Keach call it? The Coliseum of Chehalis.
Yes.
So anyway, so the kids are coming in, and it's like Adrian had the crowd sound effects going and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Miles is like, nuts, roasted nuts, and all this. And
The chaos
Yeah.
of
the chaos of the arena. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then Tyrell and Tyrell it's funny because he's newer, and so he's always trying to do a good job, but he's like so worried about so what am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
So we come out and we're in costume, and we come and sit by the kids, and it's funny, we've done this before, but today we did it a few times today, and it was funny. The kids they didn't know how to respond.
To you guys when you guys went out there when
we're sitting next to them.
The kids, when we were out there sitting next to them, the kids didn't know who they were supposed to be listening to.
Yeah.
The kids were very confused today.
It was pretty funny.
And distracted by your guys' cups, right?
Yeah, but I was waiting till you got to that part.
Okay, yeah, let's wait. So
Okay.
in the dynamic opening, so Tyrell and I are basically we have lines, but we're spectators, and so our ad lib is basically I call over, and he's sitting in 2 sections away. And we did that on purpose because I'm yelling at him, so the kids are paying attention to us. And so I'm like, "Hey, I heard they got a new gladiator coming out this fight or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, it's some kid." And so yeah, he's not gonna lie against the Bone Crusher. What? And so we're introducing the theme kind of, and it's something exciting happening as the kids are sitting down. And then John, Brother Keach, comes out as the Summa Rudis. I really like that name. But
Sadie today was reading the script. She's like, there are a lot of words on here that I don't know.
So the Summa Rudis, I Googled this, but back when we did our August thing, so the Summa Rudis was the master of ceremonies, kind of,
He was the MC.
Yeah, he was, basically. He was the MC. And so anyway, he comes out and was talking about the upcoming fight, Maximus the Bone Crusher against the Mine Rat, which is our main character, Cassian.
Yeah.
So, and we're of course he's not gonna last at all,
Mm-hmm. Take your time. Refresh your
My
voice
throat's
there.
drying out. So okay, so then we go from there, then we had to kind of do an exit. So he's like, I'm going to go check on the fighters, and then we're like, I'm going to go get some popcorn. The kids are probably like, I want some popcorn.
Yeah, the kids thought it was time for snack at that point.
Yeah. So then we do Memory Verse, which one of the things we're doing with Memory Verse is we are learning, we normally do 16 weeks. This one's 15 weeks just because of the way the calendar is. But so this theme, we are learning 4 memory verses.
Okay.
And so today was we introduced the 4th one, and so we reviewed 3, and then we introduced 4, and then I think next week is 2 and 4 or something.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know.
I was wondering how that was.
It's a very complex algorithm that I developed.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I didn't hear any of what you said.
It's a proprietary memory verse algorithm. If
Wow.
you would like to purchase it, no, I'm just kidding. And so we went to prayer requests, and even prayer request segment is got not dialogue. I guess it would be monologue, but it's got lines. Of what you could say. And it's, again, just to provide context.
Yeah, that's what Shaylee was reading word for word that one time.
Oh, yeah. Last podcast we talked about
your prayer request
segment.
No, you didn't. I didn't have
actually
lines.
Oh, she didn't have lines?
I didn't have the... I didn't have the encouraged all this big stuff right here. You sent me in there with nothing. It said prayer request.
Set you up for failure.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a sweet deal.
Okay,
now.
so-
I'll just take this up with me.
So that
Okay.
means you want to try it again. Okay.
No.
We'll
It's okay.
We'll set you
I'll
up.
let somebody else have the opportunity.
But I could hear Miles. I was backstage and I heard Miles. He was preaching up a message out there.
Oh, good.
I just heard him talking about exceeding.
Wow.
Which is a big word the kids don't know, I'm sure. And
You do have exceeding on the script right here. No.
I don't think
No.
I don't
He
think
just
so.
freestyled.
He's
But,
just like,
yeah.
today we're going to see that God helps underdogs. Like just be like,
Yeah. And then
that's
how would you
good.
say, what, quote, giants are you
quote,
facing?
giants, unquote.
Quote, unquote.
Yeah, so, well. Anyway, okay, now we get to the theme.
Okay.
So after a prayer request, then we go into the theme, step into battle. And so we started out with Cassian, the main character. He's sitting in like the dungeon, area or whatever before he goes to battle. And then Flavius, which is also Miles' character, Flavius is like, so Billy Keach was asking me today, like, he's like, is Flavius like what Paul Allen was or something? Like he owns the team.
Oh.
And so I was like, yeah, kind of. He's like a scout, scouts out gladiators, and then they fight for him, and
Okay,
he makes
that
money.
makes sense.
So, because that's when he bought Cassian in the mines.
Okay,
from
I understand
Brutus.
now.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, so he's in there, and then Valentina, which is Mercedes' character, and so she's the really good trainer. Oh, in fact, in the dynamic opening, I don't know if you guys heard any of this, but you weren't even up here.
I wasn't. I watched in the
opening?
end of dynamic
Okay.
opening.
So he says something about the mine rat, we're scoffing, and all that. And he's like, trained by the famous Valentina. And so we're like, because we,
because
in
like
theory,
know
we
her.
know
Okay.
Valentina.
Yeah.
She's like famous. And so,
Okay.
so that's kind of cool, build up, And her debut was the week before.
Last week, right?
Yeah, last week. So anyway, so she comes in, and Flavius comes in. They're like, asking Cassian, how you feeling? Because he's getting ready for the battle, and he's like terrified. And so I didn't get to see Brennan do this part. I did this part in practice because Brennan was on the bus.
Yeah.
And so, but they're like, that's good. Fear keeps you, on your toes, whatever. But I had a super cool screen for this.
I didn't see it. What was it?
So it was a screen. It was like a dungeon, but I wanted it to be kind of cartoon style. So like a lot of our Bible story backgrounds are usually like real, like real
Realism.
photos or whatever. And so for the screen in church that advertises the upcoming Sunday,
Oh yeah, it's
what I've chosen to do is all kind of
Right.
cartoonish, because I figured gladiators, there's awesome stuff, but it can be too
Scary.
scary. Yeah.
yeah, super
Yeah. The
aggressive.
kids are like, what are we sending
Yeah,
our
aggressive.
kids
That's-
up to?
Yeah.
yeah. So it's all cartoon. So I'm kind of doing that in Sunday school as well. But so on the screen for the background in that theme, I had two theme backgrounds. Dynamic opening, I had like, it's basically like the inside of the Coliseum, but it's not supposed to be the Coliseum yet, and so it was kind of a close up. So it doesn't look as big, because I want to save that for later, the big battle, And so that was what I had for dynamic opening, and then I had that same screen for the theme skit part 2 when they're in the arena. But the first part was it was like a dungeon, but it was a video.
Yeah,
And
okay.
so it was a loop, and so it's like this long corridor, and there's these torches flickering
cool.
down the hall.
And then wasn't one of the jail cell doors like sliding up and
right
down?
at the end, it slides up.
Because
and
I
then
was
it
like, I
slides down.
saw it out of the corner of my eye. I was like, did I imagine that? But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of neat. I thought that was cool, because most of the time we just do photos.
Yeah.
But so that was the background. Then they exit, and we had to kind of figure that out. And then we had to tell Brennan, because he wasn't here for practice, and so we had to tell him like what to do. But
Yeah.
so then they do the exit, and basically that transition. And so this is something like with the script, it's kind of interesting. It's easy to write, say a like a screenplay, a script for video, because you can think of like the whole thing cut to, cut to this scene.
This scene.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy. I mean, you can
Yeah.
like reset and
Yeah.
and here's the new scene, and it can make sense to the audience, because like, oh, they're inside the house now. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, when you're live on stage, you have to be really cognizant of how is
Yeah.
this going to work.
Yeah.
And like I even did the audio thing for the staff. So it's like an audio book of this theme, which I think really helps with. And that's another thing that was funny with Billy Keach. But anyway, so we.
Oh yeah, Brother Keith was throwing out spoilers, and we're like, we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know it, you guys know it, but the kids don't know it.
So
Like,
in practice, he was
he was
doing
calling
the Sumarutas,
his name.
and so Shaylee and Sadie were just. heckling him
we're
bad.
out of control in practice today. We should have had a video of it, and that should have been the podcast today because
That would have been hilarious.
it was so
I
funny.
mentioned something. I was like, I wish we were videoing this right now.
Yeah, it was like we were doing his part for him, but he didn't appreciate the
And
help.
He didn't
Like,
appreciate
they're so
that.
hard to work with.
Yeah, he was like they need to be gone. Yeah. So anyway, for that transition, what we decided is they would walk to the back, like they're going out to the arena, and then Tyrell, who is Maximus the Bone Crusher, he would come in from the side,
Okay.
up on stage.
Yeah.
And so he, I didn't get to see when he first came in, but I heard him, and he did good. I think
good.
he was like.
I didn't hear.
He said-
Tyrell, I thought we were out there. Were we not out there when he
first
walked out?
came out, we weren't because I heard
Oh.
him. I heard him because that was when I was like, "Oh, we're supposed to go."
Yeah.
And so I heard him like, "I'm Maximus."
Oh, good.
And then we had told
Hey,
him
Maximus.
in practice, we had joked about like flex your muscles and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he was doing it. It was
Oh, good.
awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's so much easier. Like when there's not staff out there or something, and it's just the kids. It seems easier than just doing it in practice.
Yeah, in practice, like I said, it seems so dry and like.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So we go out there, and Aneisha sets us up with these
Wait.
cups.
Let me just preface. Let me set the scene for you guys.
Okay.
So we're all in like these like velvet outfits, these velvet robes. Like I had what's it called? Like a little circlet, like a
Tiara thing. Or
yeah,
something?
kind of crown kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
thing. And then Brent walks in with his glass. Well, I was like, well, I need a glass as well. I would love to have a drink in my hand. So we should pour some water in my cup. Well, then Aneisha pulls out the food coloring. Green.
Yeah, green, because
So I had green. And he had
You know what's funny? Yes, I remember when she was doing that. She was pouring it in there, and you're like, "Oh, not green," and it was
Yeah.
like just a drop, man. It,
It
made
was
a big
just
one
difference.
a
drop.
One
yeah.
little drop, and you switch
That's
around.
why
well,
the time I accidentally stained Miles' head yellow, it was multiple
yeah.
drops of food coloring.
Many drops.
So me being colorblind, it looked like a gold color. or
Oh.
something.
Really?
Yeah, it was a really
He's
cool.
like, the kids are gonna
He's
love
like, the
this.
kids
Yeah, I was
really
like-
think this is so cool.
Well, I saw it, and
It's
then you
cider.
said green right after that. I was like, "Oh."
Wow,
okay.
what a life you live.
a
So
life
anyways,
you
yours
live.
was blue. Did you know that?
Because she said it. It looked
What did-
purple, but
Really?
yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So he had, and then Brent just had a
His
red
cup
glass.
was a
His
red.
glass was red,
Yeah.
and so he had clear water, which is key.
Yes, key.
And then, we're all swirling around, and we go out there, and we're just like yelling for Maximus. We're cheering up the man.
That was so funny.
It was so, and the kids. Okay, also the kids were like, because I think it's like set up for Cassian to be like he's the hero of the story,
right.
but we are the staff, and they know that we are the staff, and we are just like, I was screaming, Maximus! Like I was pumping my fist in the air, my drink was
they're
waving
they're
in the
all
air.
They're chanting too, like Maximus.
Yeah,
Maximus.
we're all
Yeah,
chanting.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone is chanting. And then they bring out the Cassian, and we're just like, he's scrawny.
like,
we're just like, yeah. Just like, we're wrecking Brennan's day with the insults. And the kids are kind of like,
Yeah, they're like, wait.
I don't know what to do about this. Yeah, and so then, and Brent is like, Brent's got clear water. So Brent is just splashing his water all around. Like, he's out of control.
Also, he
It's-
filled it up way too high, so it was
Yeah,
already
he tried to swirl
spilling.
it, and it
Well,
went
I almost
everywhere.
spilled mine on accident because I was swirling it and I was
Yeah.
chanting.
Well, I was like
and
raising
was
it up in the
"Ooh,
air.
I don't want
And
to stain some
Looked
kid's
down, and the
clothes."
kid's face is blue.
Brent was like, what did he say? He's like, what did he say? And he was like, destroy him! Cut off his head!
Oh.
Like, I looked at him and he was like, like he realized it was like a little bit too far. Like, it was super aggressive. And so
that's
then he
funny.
like realized, and then he just like kept going about whatever. But yeah, that was my favorite part of
That's
science school
funny.
today.
That was so
Just
much-
like,
it was hilarious because the kids, like I said, they didn't know what to think. Like, we're sitting there, so
because we went and sat in amongst the kids.
amongst the kids,
Yeah.
and I'm like on the second bench, and so I'm grabbing these kids, like I'm by the boys, and I'm like, did you hear that? Well, when I touch them, I think they think they're in trouble or something. And they're like looking like, what? Oh,
Also, Ashton is ruining my acting because he kept turning around. what is that in your cup? What is that? A drink. What is it though? I was like, Ashton, just look forward.
That's so funny. He's gonna ask me when I get home. What was that in her
What
cup?
was that in their cup?
Yeah.
Bug juice.
So also, I noticed it was really subtle, but when they brought Brennan out, and we're all like, boo. Well, Adrian had found a track.
And it was going boo.
With booze in it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
And the kids were like, didn't know if they were supposed to like cheer or boo. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
really were so confused.
It's like do we bow because everybody bowed, or do we stand
Yeah.
up like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're like, we don't know what we're supposed to be doing in here.
Yeah, that was so funny. And then, of course, so they had this, and they didn't get to practice because, again, Brendan was on the bus, so
yeah.
they didn't get to practice. So they had to do this fight. And I was wanting it to be a little longer than it was, but it probably was fine because it was like left you wanting more,
Yeah.
you know? So they fight, and then, of course, Tyrell, Maximus, the Bone Crusher, has the upper hand most of the time. And then Brennan did he did like a shoulder roll.
Yeah, he did a shoulder roll
And
and
I was
came up
like,
behind
I
him or
grabbed the
something.
boy next to me. Oh, did you see that?
I was like, no. And Brent was like standing up. He had his drink.
Yeah. Bro was standing up the whole
And then
time like,
he hits him with his sword, and so there's a boy behind me that he was like paying attention. So I grabbed him, like, did you see that? He got him. I scared him. I think. He's like, what?
that's funny.
That's really funny.
Was Cassian, like, when he got announced, was he supposed to be, like, confident? Like, I thought in the audio he was, like, confident and stuff. Because, like, so what's the guy's name? Maximus. So they announced him, and he's like,
Yeah.
And then they announced Cassian, and he, like, puts his sword above his head, but his arms are shaking. Like
Oh, yeah,
this.
no, that was perfect.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
supposed to be?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and then everyone booed, and he was like,
Yeah, because he
like,
gets...
scared of whoever's
Yeah,
booed
no, that
him.
was perfect because
Okay.
he gets confident later. He gets kind of overconfident.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know, but his arms were, like, literally
Yeah.
wobbly, jello.
That's really
I was like, how do you do that?
Brendan is awesome actor. So, yeah, that was
That's
so funny. So they had the big fight, and then, of course, Cassian wins.
Yeah, we were outraged.
And his name gets changed to Ferrum.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so-
Before
then-
that, right?
Well, yeah, kind of, but that's like kind of the big thing. Then we all started cheering.
Yeah.
Ferrum, Ferrum. So,
Oh, I never chanted that. I booed and walked out.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
No, I was like-
I switched sides. I was like,
Immediately.
I was one of those kind of fans, like
I was
fair
like-
weather fan.
I was like, what did I say? Like, this is a catastrophe or something. Like, this was not fun.
Oh, I remember when we first came out, you were like, when Brody comes out, you're like, I thought this was going to be interesting.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
funny.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh man, so
He
that
got
was
dragged
good.
through the mud today.
So they do the fight, and then everybody kind of exits, and then Cassian's in there. Flavius and Valentina come in, and Cassian, Flavius is like, excellent, you know, and then Cassian, and this is kind of a key thing for the turning point with Cassian. He is the hero, but he also has some flaws, and so he mentions something about the cheering in the audience and that he wants to hear it again.
Oh.
So then Valentina, who Valentina is kind of like obscurely seems like she might be Christian because she references things
Yeah.
about Paul and stuff, but she's like, basically be careful. Be careful what you wish for. You know, the cheering and stuff. So then everybody exits. Shaylee does a quick change from one of the spectators to the
I had to
kitchen
force her to do a
slave.
quick change. She was talking
I-
to everyone back there. I was like, "You're literally up in like 5 seconds."
Oh, I remember she peeks out. I was like, so is it just Brendan on stage? She's like, yeah. I was like, go now.
No, I thought I was supposed to go out and be like, oh, someone's coming, and then he was gonna go out.
Yeah.
And so I was waiting for him to come back.
That's how it was supposed to
yeah,
be.
and so I was waiting for him to come back, and then I was like, I wonder if I should go. And then you
Yeah,
said
because he
go.
didn't know. Because again, he wasn't.
And I had I had a letter, and I had it hidden, and she's like, where is your letter? You're supposed to have a
No,
letter.
because I
was
gave
like,
it to her, and it looks like she put it down immediately because that's what most people do back there.
So I didn't get to see that scene. What happened
Oh,
there?
I
when you
just
came
went out, and he was out there. My arms are sore. My legs are sore. So I just went out there, and I was like, first of all, I was like, I hope this is his right name. I was like, Cassian. And so I'm assuming that was his name.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then I told him that there was a woman in the market, and she asked me to bring this to you. And he was like, okay. And because you had said like he needs to like
Say
emphasize
Lydia,
that it's
yeah.
from Lydia, he was just like, okay. And so I just turned around and like ran out. And one of the boys was like, why is she running? But
So we didn't get to establish that it was from
no,
Lydia?
no, he said it.
Oh, okay.
I actually wrote the letter out on a piece of paper. And
Oh,
so,
from the
so
script?
he could
Yeah.
read it.
Oh, cool.
So,
and it signs Lydia.
Yeah. So because he came back and I was like, please tell me that you said something about it being from Lydia. And he's like, oh no, I did say Lydia.
Okay.
And so,
I
yeah.
heard him say, because I came out for the narrator for, I was standing, in the alcove off to the side, when he said the last line, because I was getting ready to narrate for Bible story, and so he says something. Oh yeah, like foolish girl, always with her God, and so he didn't say that exactly, but he's like, how could she still believe in God after we're
Yeah.
slaves or something like
Yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. So he kind of established that because Lydia comes back later on. We see her again.
Oh, spoiler.
Oh, yeah. She
leave it all
sneaks
out.
in there. So, all right. Any kids
She
listening?
becomes a gladiator and she kills Cassian.
Yeah.
She
That would
turns.
be.
Oh, boy. That would be a plot twist.
I have
But
a
there's
really
already
good
a plot
to-
twist
Oh.
in it.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
this is what I
Sorry,
think it should be.
Okay, so from there, we go to the Bible story, which is a classic. Classic Bible story. David and
Classic.
Goliath. And so I narrate.
Also, I petitioned to be Goliath, and I really wanted it, but whatever. He didn't allow. And then we have this giant, really scary mask, and I said I can just wear
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
Nobody
then,
will know.
and then nobody
Except
will
that
know.
you're so short.
And then John
what the
was like,
Keach
"You're
said.
the smallest person back here." And then I was like, "Well, they would be wondering why Goliath was a little goblin, like
Goliath the little goblin.
Goliath the goblin."
A twist
Hey, that's
on the
some
classic.
alliteration.
Yeah.
Well, so I narrated, and then what was I going to say? Oh, so I grabbed the mic, the mic that I'm supposed to have, which is mic 3.
On the
Used-
back of it says Mike has issues.
Yeah, I know, but it used to be our best mic. And so last time I used it, I didn't use it last week, but I used it 2 weeks ago, and it turns off, but it'll like stay on for, I don't know, 30 seconds or whatever, and then turns off. So I just kept on hitting it
Clicking
on.
it on and off.
And so I was like, okay, I'll give myself that mic because I can deal with that. I'll mess with that issue, and I want somebody else to have to mess with it, and I got to figure out what's wrong with it. Well, today I'm narrating, and Adrian can see me because I'm off to the side, and he's in the sound booth. And I'm like trying to say my words, but the mic was only staying on for like 1 second, maybe 2. Like,
Oh no.
and so I'm like, for 40 days, and he's got the mic, the echo and stuff, and I'm like, the armies, and it's like, I'm like,
For 40 days, the army of Israel.
yeah. So I'm like having to keep on pushing. So that was a struggle. It took me a really
Yikes.
long time to narrate.
man.
Kids are probably like, why is he
I
pausing
didn't
so much?
notice that. I didn't notice it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm super oblivious or if it wasn't that big of a deal, like out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I didn't hear it either.
It was. I was like, okay, this mic is terrible. And then I tested the batteries. And it's not that. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Once again, Mike has issues.
yeah, Mike has issues. So then Goliath comes out. That's Brent, and and then so Tyrell was, and Tyrell's kind of new, and so he was the
Yeah,
Israelite
Tyrell left
soldier.
half of his outfit in his locker. He literally had one red shirt on. Like,
Every single time we come to this point in the podcast, Aneisha starts ragging on people for forgetting their costume.
Well,
It's
what's funny about
labeled.
that is I went out to get because he had some boys for Israelite soldiers. I went out to get my boys for the Philistine soldiers
yeah.
after a little bit later while Goliath is talking and stuff. So I go out there and I'm grabbing boys and I see Tyrell sitting like with the kids in the benches.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even notice that he was in costume. I just thought he was being staff out there. I didn't even think about it.
What's funny is I thought he was a kid, like, because he was kind of hunched over, and I just like wasn't really looking. And then he went to stand up, and I like looked, and I was like, oh.
Well, I will say he did a good job because I didn't know that kids were supposed to come back there
Mhm.
because it wasn't on that item list
Oh,
like it was
okay.
last week. But he like came up and he's like, "So are you ready for the kids to come back here?" So he went and bought his own kids and stuff. So I'm
That's
glad he
good.
did that.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah,
awesome.
then he left his entire outfit in there. He didn't even have a sword. Like you were a
All the
soldier.
kids had a sword though.
All the kids had swords except for Tyrell.
Tyrell didn't have it. So they're out there and they're supposed to, be all scared of Goliath, and I didn't see what they did.
And no one was scared of Goliath.
No, I'm so sorry. Goliath was not scary today. Like it was.
No, it's
Goliath
because
looked
Brent
like
is
a
the
giant teddy bear.
funniest Goliath
Yeah.
ever. Brent is
Well,
just
the kids love
comedic.
Brent.
He had
too.
he had that like long like we call it a Samson wig.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was like he had like a headband on and over it, and so I just thought he had like a little wig. I was like, he looks like a really tall little boy. Like he was not scary this time, but it was funny still.
I remember, I've mentioned this before, I think, but I remember when we did, it was in, I think it was in a Western theme, but we did David and Goliath, but we had it all, that one section was all built up, and the actor was up on the high part,
Oh, yeah.
and then we had a
yeah.
light. We had a light like by his feet where you couldn't see it,
Shining up.
but it was shining up, and that was back when the ceiling was all white. And so his shadow was on the ceiling.
That's
cool.
cool.
And he was like, it was scary. It was scary.
That's really
he
cool.
was like, shut me up.
Who was it?
It was an actor that's not here anymore.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think it's so cool when it's scary. Like I know
Yeah.
that like sometimes it's just so cool.
Yeah, but when
I'm
it's like
whoa.
theater,
It's
not
dramatic.
comedy.
Yeah.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just scary,
Not
but
just scary.
dramatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also when it's scary.
So, okay, then Miles was David. He comes out, and then Brennan is Eliab, and his costume was...
Oh my
He
goodness.
was really funny.
He had a really long gray wig on, and then he had a
that
beard on that I've never
was,
seen
like,
before.
down to
Somehow,
his belly button
yeah.
or something.
And then he had a headband on, and his cheeks were like pushed up into his eyes. Like I
He
don't know
like,
what was
being
going
so
on.
funny. Like Goliath came out and he like dove behind the table. I was like, "What are you doing?" Like can't even do the voice he was doing. He's like, "What are you doing? Get down!" Like, I don't even know how to do it.
Oh, that's funny.
And he was like, "You're supposed to get down." And Miles was like, "I can take him. I can kill him. Bring him to me." Like, turned into this,
David is country.
Hillbilly.
Did he do a southern accent?
I don't know exactly how it was. I
But
can't
it wasn't
remember.
Irish?
What did?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
'cause
that's good. That's his go-to.
That's his
That's his
go-to.
go-to.
But he
Slips into
basically
it, it's bad.
came out. Yeah, I was like, I can kill him. Like I don't even. It was something. It wasn't Irish.
Well, when they did so we've done this story, of course, a million times, but he had the sling. We have a really cool like sling. And what did you have? A golf ball? Or what did you have for
I
the
didn't
stone?
pick the
No,
rock
oh,
because
let
Oh,
me-
he had the stone.
let me tell you how
it
this
hit him in
happened.
the stomach.
Well,
That's
he
why-
actually hit him.
he actually
Usually
hit
it
him,
goes
which
flying.
I-
That's why I
Surprise.
never like to give the stone
yeah,
because
so
it's like,
what
was
happened
like
with this
great.
is that there was nobody out there for a second, and I walked out there to like make sure the kids were not jumping out the window or anything, and this kid was standing in the front like holding something, and I was like, what's going on? And so I took it from him. I was like, here, just let me see what that is. Well, it was like a rolled up piece of paper, like how we use rock for rocks.
Oh, okay.
It was a brown piece of
Oh.
paper, like crumpled up, like in a ball. And so
Oh.
I didn't know if it was supposed to be out there and he was supposed to collect that as part of his 5 smooth stones or not.
Oh, right.
And so I was just like, I just took it and I went back and I was like, is this supposed to be out there or are you supposed to have it? And Miles like just holds out his hand. And so I gave it to Miles. He's like, it is now.
this
or
is this
something.
kid's
like,
prize
this is mine now.
treasure.
No, he found it on the ground.
Oh, he
up
found it
front.
on the
No,
ground.
he was, like,
Okay.
up front, not in his seat.
Okay.
Yeah, give me that. It's like, wait. So he just like had it in his pocket, and so then he went up there and like collected the stones, and then he pulled it out of his pocket and put it in the sling, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna go flying, and then he actually hit him, and I was like super impressed
Yeah. That
because
was
I wasn't
good,
expecting him
yeah.
to be able to hit him. I was like, this thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking next to Adrian, I was like, this thing is gonna go flying, but
So
Yeah.
I grabbed those Philistine boys. I grabbed a couple boys, and they have these helmets on. And
And they
so
can't see.
bring them out. I'm like, we're gonna cheer for Goliath, right? So they're doing their challenge. So then we come out, and we're standing on the side. So the kids are all like looking at us, like, what are they gonna do? And so we're like, yeah, get them Goliath, or I am, and then he's going down, and Brett he sees one of the little boys. He's like. He puts his hand on his shoulder and he's falling.
Yeah, he's like
pulling him.
slowly falling. His
He's
death is so
slowly
slow.
falling. And I'm like, Goliath! And then he falls. And
Miles
then,
is literally standing there just watching him like,
yeah, he's like very hesitantly watching him. Like, did I get him or
we
no?
didn't practice this part at all. So then Miles comes over
It's because Goliath died so painfully slow.
Yeah,
that
slow
Miles
motion.
didn't know what to do.
So he comes over and he's got his big sword. First of all, he's got this big huge
Like
pirate
a pirate sword, yeah.
He grabs the sword and he does the chop and he picks up
The wig,
Brent's
and the helmet.
He's like, I got it.
And
And,
so
the kids, and then me and her and Mercedes were standing in the back, and we just were like screaming, like we were freaked
So
out.
funny.
It was so
and
funny.
then Brent like starts to stand up and he's like peeking. Well, he has like his thing and then he tucks his head into his shirt and it's like waving his arms, and that's how he exits because he's dead. That's the best exit if you're dead, because how do you get out of there?
Well, then I take those two boys and I go running, got my knees running all high, my high knees. And
yeah.
I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
So
That's
Oh,
so
man.
funny.
So that was our epic
Yes.
story today. And then, of course, we had a lot of other segments. We're running out of time. But
Immediately after that was praise, and
Praise,
like the
yes.
slingshot, I think, and I know the spear was left out there.
well, the
Goliath
slingshot was
was
also
giant.
left
I know
out
the
there.
sling was
I know
left
the
out there.
slingshot because
it was
sorry,
next
I'm
for.
so close
Well,
to this.
in praise, all the kids, because as soon as that music starts, all the kids run to the front. But they like 4 kids grabbed that spear and were like waving it around.
boy.
It was it's like a rubber
how
spear.
did my kid get a black eye?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
Well,
we did praise, and then for offering, you were supposed to have the sling.
I was an offering. Well,
Couldn't
I'm
find it.
searching
and
for
we're
the
scrambling.
sling.
We're like, Miles, where's the sling? He's like,
And
I don't know.
John was already out there. Yeah, Mike doesn't know. John was already out there. And so then I was like, couldn't find it. I was like, I'm just going to go out there. And then the sling was on the table.
Oh,
and so
okay.
then it was fine. And so.
And I had a sling and stone
Oh,
on the
And
screen.
I didn't
Picture.
have a small stone. But I did have the sling. And so then also.
You should have just brought a donut hole with you.
Yeah. The kids are like, Also, John was like walking, and we have that the little iPad stand up there.
Yeah.
So we can see the segment.
yeah.
Well, he was walking and he has a mic on. Well, the cord catches and he
Oh,
walks
no.
past and it like falls and then it starts to drag with him and he's like stuck. And so he's standing there and he can't get untangled and the kids are losing it. I'm trying to maintain order because, of course. And so the kids are just like losing
That
it,
was so funny.
dying, and there's no order to be gained. And so then finally he untangles himself and he's dying. He's like dying laughing. And I'm like, I cannot control this chaos right now. And so I was like, okay, everyone just take a minute.
It must have been the giggles because I came out there right when that was happening, right before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian is in the sound booth and he's laughing. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, he keeps on saying chillful giver. Instead of cheerful.
Chillful giver.
He's like, he does it every time. He's like, he didn't even try to correct it
That's
this
so
time.
funny. I didn't catch it.
So I wrote on the stage screen, chillful.
Yeah, well,
But
it
he
was
didn't
busy
see it
being
because
dragged
it was-
behind
it
him
was
with the
getting
mic,
dragged around.
with the mic
That's
cord.
funny.
Yeah, it was so hard to come back from that. And then he's just like over there giggling to himself, and I'm trying to finish the segment, and I
Oh,
couldn't
that's
remember
funny.
it because I was in a fluster about finding the sling, and then I just it was.
Oh man! Then we had an object lesson with a big, huge stick and a small little key, and trying to get into a door and all of that. And so we're out of time, but and we ran out of time in our script too. We had our small groups and snacks was
Donut holes.
the donut holes, and we had
We missed Plan of Salvation. He keeps putting me on all these segments.
Oh yeah, you were
that I
on
ain't
Plan
never
of
done
Salvation.
before, and I was on Plan of Salvation, and I
That
just was like,
easy though, right? It was you
I
and
just told
somebody
Brent
else.
to take the lead, and I would do some commentary every
Yeah,
now
it was
and
you
then.
and Brent.
Yeah. So,
Commentary.
anyways, I just want to point out that he keeps putting me in these.
Did you
weird
notice though that I
spots.
did put what the Plan of Salvation is?
Thank you for that.
Repent,
I
be
do
baptized,
appreciate-
receive the Holy Ghost. Okay.
Yeah. I did remember the part. This is the one thing I remembered from this whole script about how David couldn't defeat Goliath without God's help, so we can't defeat sin without God's Spirit living in us.
Very
that was
good.
my.
Did you say that?
Yes, that was
Oh.
my. That was all of my whole
He said,
entire
"Wait, everyone."
contribution. The last,
God's spirit.
the last 20
Can you turn
seconds.
my mic up, please?
The last 20
Walks
seconds, I
out.
was like, I didn't talk the whole time. In the last 20 seconds, I was like, and just like David couldn't defeat Goliath without God's help, we can't defeat sin without God's help.
Round of applause, everybody.
And then I just
Walked
Did you
out.
bow?
no, I should have though. I did walk out before Brent because Brent said that next week we were all gonna sit and have them try to teach us while we were talking and giggling. I think Brent was fed up at the end there because I think the kids were like jittery or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially
They were a
after
little
donut
crazy
holes, too.
today.
And then the donut holes, they had enough for one. We didn't have quite enough for everybody to get to, and so they were like, some of them were like,
They
we
were
only get one.
chanting
Started
And they
chanting.
"Donut," or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I blame all of the chanting on Aneisha because Aneisha loves to start a chant.
I do love to start a chant, but I was not out there. The 5 seconds I wasn't there, I broke up a fist fight. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah, the kids were.
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
It was a little crazy today. But yeah.
But
But
overall,
I think overall it went
Overall,
well.
it was
It was
good.
good.
There was no major disaster this week, I don't think.
yeah,
I don't
think so either.
Just some minor little
Yeah,
disasters.
like several minor little things, but no major catastrophes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we are over time, so that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's
And
what they
good
taught us
night.
to do. And with that, I think. Good night, y'all.